Hey, we need on this.
We are live, baby. Hey, Bruno, Fratus, Marcelo Chierighini, swimsuit guy, Sonny. What's happening, boys?
What is up, everybody?
Hey, we have to start with congratulations, Marcelo Chierighini, man. Congrats, man. Great swimming.
Thank you very much. It was a long time that I haven't had a good swim, since 2019, I think, was the last time I was very pleased with my swims. So very good to be back.
Bruno, you haven't been the national champion for years now. Now you hand it off to Marcelo. How you feel about it?
For a while, man. I just realized the other day it's been around 4 years, I think, the last time I raced in Brazil. So yeah, I was looking forward to do it this year. It wasn't the plan to pull out the meet, but we had to do it for a higher purpose.
Yeah, how do you feel about handing off to Marcelo?
And the last time I lost a 50 in Brazil, Marcelo was the guy who won the race, who beat me. So it definitely feels good to see a brother of mine winning this race.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's last time I raced in Brazil. So yeah, I was looking forward to doing it this year.
Yeah, it looks like his internet sucks down in Brazil, man.
No.
Yeah, that can happen.
Man, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
That's all right. Well, hey, drop off. We'll drop off. We'll try and do it another time, okay?
What about if I try to come back? No? Drop off, come back?
Yeah, drop off, come back, yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Nate, jump in while he's gone. Where'd Nate go? There he is.
Nowhere.
There he is.
Nowhere. There he goes.
Yeah, lots to talk about. A lot of good swimming.
A lot of swimming, yeah.
Yeah. We'll start with Sonny. What about you, mate? What's happening with you? You're breaking some national records over the weekend?
Look at these.
British record?
British record. I'm now a 3 times Masters British record holder with my boys. Yeah, we've done all 5. Well, we've done 4 relays on the weekend. We failed at the 4x200 freestyle relay. We did not get the record. We didn't have the endurance.
Who predicted that?
A lot of people, including yourself, Brett. Brett had no faith in my 200 freestyle. I don't know when you guys last done a 200 freestyle, but it's really tough. But we had a good time on the 50s and the 100s. We just come up short on the European record on the 4x1. We had a great time. Master swimming is super fun. Met a lot of cool people there. My standout swim was the 75 to 79-year-old 50 freestyle. A 77-year-old man went 30.1 long course, 50 freestyle. 77, right? 30.1. And I think that should be inspiration to all 4 of us. If we can go sub 30 at 77, we're doing pretty good. Well,
it is, man. It is. That's how I feel most of my season regarding my joints. I feel like I'm 77. So I can say how impressive it is.
We're trying to get Marcelo back. How's that?
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Can you turn the camera sideways?
Yes, I did. Eu não viro aqui, amor, celular.
We're getting there.
I'm getting. This is my wife's cell phone.
My boys is struggling hard.
Okay, man. Okay. Now here you go.
This is live, man. I love live. Live is just beautifully imperfect,
So I'm sorry. Hi, Brad. Hi, Bruno.
Hey.
I'm not sure if I know you.
Sonny,
nice to meet you, Marcelo.
Sonny, nice to meet you, guys. Nice to meet you, man. So here you go again. Let's try.
Okay, Len, listen. First of all, congratulations. While we got you here, you haven't swum a best time in a while. You haven't swum this fast in a while. Why now? Why did you swim so fast now?
I think it's not that an easy answer, but I will try to explain my best. In the end of last year, I sat down with my coach and I decided to change a bit our program. I wasn't feeling great. Actually, I was just so tired of doing those back end speed sets. I've done it my entire life training for the 100.
Yeah.
And you know how it is, right, Bruno and Brad? How painful it is to do those sets. And I was just so over it. I'm like, I'm so sick of training for the 100 the entire time, doing those sets and not having a good result. So we sat down, and I was like, look, Amen. His nickname is Amen. His name is André Ferreira.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, look, what if we try to train for the 50? I'm not sure how many more years I have left of swimming. What if we try to swim and train only for the 50 freestyle? And then we changed the lifting program. We swim way less, and then he was like, okay, I mean, if you want to do it, okay, let's try. So then beginning of this year, we completely changed our program, our lifting program, our swimming program. We were doing a lot less yardage. I think pretty much half of the yardage, lifting a lot heavier, and trying to increase my tempo, in training. But the main thing was I was so excited to train. I had the energy and the excitement to go every day and to train hard.
Yeah.
And in the previous year, I was so, okay, let's do it again, back in speed sets, long sets, and I wasn't really enjoying at all. The difference was that this year, from January 1st, I was really, really enjoying to train, those type of short sets. And that gave me confidence again. And then, and the funny thing is, we weren't trying to have a good 100 free at all. My expectation was like, if I go 40 high, that'll be good, because I was swimming 48 high in the last 2 years. So if I swim 48 high doing less, that's perfect, And then I just swam the 100 with no expectations, but I was feeling really powerful. And then I just used my front end speed and just to go out, not spending energy, and come back strong. And then that's what happened. I went out in 22.5, and it was crazy because I wasn't trying at all, and then it was just so easy. And then I swam 47. And I was like, wow. And then funny thing that the 53, I was 22.0, so it was like, oh, how did that happen? And but the thing is, I swam faster. 22.0 was faster than 22.2 I swam last year. It's not good. It's not where we want it to be, but it gave me a direction, So I'm excited again. I'm excited to train hard again, and this is where I am right now.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Did you swim 22.5, breathing twos to the feet?
Yes, 22.5.
Wow.
And easy. I felt easy, right?
In the morning it was way easier. In the morning it was 22.5 something, and night it was 22.49, almost the exact same time, but with a little mistakes, which cost me a little bit in the last 50 meters. But I'll take it. 41 in the final. I'll take it with a spot in the individual event.
What's it like to see 47 up on the scoreboard, though? It must feel good, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. That's my 5th time swimming 47. And like I said, I wasn't expecting at all to go 47 at all. So that makes it feel even better.
Bruno, what about your boy, man? Talk to your boy here.
I mean, I'm just so glad to see him swimming fast again, right? Marcelo, in my opinion, is one of the most talented sprinters I've ever seen. It's definitely one of the toughest training partners I ever had. I usually, back in Auburn, I had to pick the days I wanted to keep up with him, because it was just, it was just impossible to keep up with him every single day, because this guy's built like an animal, man. He can go every day for the whole duration of practice, and he was talking about the back end speed part of it. It was especially hard to keep up with him in back end speed work, so I'm really glad to see him performing again, and especially when mature athletes like me and him, we take ownership on our programs, we tend to swim better. It gives us a little more confidence. It gives us a little more will to perform and to show up every day and do the work.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things that we haven't had a chance to catch up on, Marcelo, is the fact that recently you've become a dad too. What kind of impact has that had on your swimming?
Hey, man, Marcelo, I have to say something about him. Marcelo has always been a daddy. Now that he's actually a dad, he got that dad strength.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Bruno.
Yeah.
Love you, bro.
I love you, man. Thanks, Bruno, on your words. It was also amazing to train with you. It was really hard to keep up with you on the front end speed set. But I think I look there's two different ways to look at being a dad. You can look on like, okay, I'm a dad now. I swim. I get paid to sustain my family. If I swim slow, they're gonna drop down my salary, and it's gonna impact directly in my wife and my kid. Or you can look at on the other way, which is, okay, is not my main priority. Swimming is not my main priority. My family is my priority. So it gives you, you don't, how can I say, you don't go as hard on yourself. It's not like, oh, I gotta swim fast. So you can look in either way. You can look on this way, on the other way. And for me, combining with this new program of training less, it was really helpful for me. Now I face swimming in, okay, this is not my main priority, and also I'm enjoying the training part. So that gave me the perfect combination, of swimming with no really high expectations and really enjoying the process of training and lifting and being really happy with my daily routine.
Yeah. Lots to talk about here. I love it. And thanks for doing this again. I know that this is the first day back with the family, so I appreciate just giving us a little bit of time here. But I got a lot of respect for you, Marcelo. I've got a lot of history with you too. I was telling my girlfriend today about some of our history and just reminiscing and enjoying our journey together. But just seeing you become a man, seeing you become a father, I mean, it's just a really proud moment for me too, just like it is with Bruno, right? So it's like I've seen the progression of Marcelo Chierighini, and it makes me so proud when you have success. I feel like I'm included in that success because I'm attached to you, like as a, like our lives are always going to be crossed, because we came together for a short period of time and worked together, and I just love you to death. I love every time I see you have success. It makes me feel good. So I love it. Now, the one thing I'll say is, and this is where Bruno might be able to help us here, like I've always believed that you're good enough to be on the podium at the Olympics and good enough to be on the podium at the World Championships. You've been in multiple finals now, World Championships, Olympic Games. Is this the year you think where we can finally maybe crack onto the podium? Like, I truly believe that you're good enough,
Well, it can be. It can be the same way I had no expectations of going 47. I thought I was going to go 48 high. Who knows? Maybe I can go on the podium. I think the mentality is this one. Just go. Right. Don't think about being on the podium, being first, second. Just go, and if that's fast enough to be on the podium.
Yeah. What do you think, Bruno? I mean, what's your advice on the whole podium talk? Like you've been in that situation too, right?
Heck yeah. Me and Marcelo, we have a little bit of different mentalities approaching the meet, right? As Marcelo was saying, he likes to be a little more laid back and just enjoy the ride and whatever it is. And that doesn't diminish him as a competitor. I think it gives him strength. But for me, I'm all about going all in and rip everybody's heads off, from the get-go. So if you ask me, I think Marcelo has everything it takes to be on the podium, to win the race, to surprise everybody, to shock the world in any swim meet that'll take place in the future. So I'm going to be rooting. That's for sure. It's kind of sucks for me because I'm going to be watching from the TV, and that's not my favorite spot to be. But anyways, I'll be rooting. That's for sure.
Yeah, Sonny, jump in here. What do you got for Marcelo while we still got him?
I'm excited to see him swim. I'm more thoughtful about how well he can get out to 50, and maybe he could relax more on the 50. Because if you can go 22.4 for feet breathing, then and only 22.0 on the 50, there's definitely too much tension on that 50, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the main thing I'm struggling with this whole semester training for the 50 is to find the good line in between not forcing too much and not going too easy. We are working on my tempo. Here in Brazil, we get in, let's say, my perfect tempo, we find out that it's a little less than 60. So if I go the first 15 meters 62, I'm spinning too much, and we try to maintain 58 throughout the entire race. But the 50 is crazy how easy it is to move 2 points up, and you're in the final with the whole adrenaline going, and it's very, very easy to spin your arms a little extra. For instance, my first 50 meters with the race analysis on the 100-meter freestyle, I was 5.40. And then in the final of the 53, it was 5.53. So how's that possible? I was going so more relaxed in the 100 free, not going all out in the first 15 meters. And in the 53, I go all out. But that's just what you said, the tension, it makes you slower. But that's the main thing I'm struggling with.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and again, I think this is the challenge of sprinting, right? Like the mystery of sprinting is like how much is too much, how little is too little. It's like that's such a fine balance. But what we've seen in the 100 in the last few years is all these back end swimmers. We've got guys that have primarily had success recently where they've shifted back to the back end focus, and you've actually gone the other way where you're looking at more of a front end focus, which is going to be an interesting mix, right? At the World Championships, you have a Popovich who can come back but can't go out like you can go. So like you've got to use your strengths and find that balance between, maybe I put pressure on him at the front end and I bring him out too quick and he forces himself because he's got to stay with me. And then, or maybe at the back end, I'm so far ahead that I've just got to find a way to hang on and hold my length and hold my stroke together. And so, yeah, there's going to be that gamesmanship, that little play between, the Kyle Chalmers and those guys who are every racehorse, it's like a horse race, every horse has their strengths and every horse is going to have their jockey who kind of holds them back or pushes them forward. And that's going to be the exciting part of Worlds, man, that you're not swimming the way they're swimming it,
Yeah, I was actually thinking the other day, should I plan my 100 free in a better way? Should I split in a better way? For instance, I can go 22.5, not spend energy, but what if I could go 22.8 or 9, which is still pretty fast, and spend even less energy? Would I have my second 50 a lot faster? I'm not sure. Maybe if I go 22.8, my tempo and my mechanic of swimming I will go slower. Should I just go like I'm doing, no thinking, or should I think about it and go slower?
No, man. Let's go with number one. Let's not give them all the secrets, but I'm telling you, my belief, and Bruno knows this, my belief is if you have speed, use it. You're like, why hop into a Ferrari if you're not going to like shift into the top gear? You know what I mean? Like, don't sit in the Ferrari then, like a Ferrari is built to go, like it's built to hit the gas and just take your head off. And you're a Ferrari, Marcelo. So yeah, like you could say, well, hold back. I'll swim their game plan a little bit more, but ultimately they're still going to come back over the top. But my theory is this, and I don't know if I'm putting this out for everybody, but my theory is this: put a body length on them and make them panic. and then they have to pull back a body length. Pulling back half a body length isn't difficult, you know. Like you can swim over the top of someone if you're at their hip, right? Like you can get on their wave, you can sit over. You even get like that feeling of I got this person because they're not that far. You put a body length on someone, and you're kicking them in the face. That's a whole different mentality, Marcelo. You know what I mean? So like, if you've been training for this front end, I would say hit the Ferrari, man. You know.
Especially because everybody's been talking about backhand, only because the fastest guys nowadays, they have strong backhands. But all it takes is someone to swim a 47 low, maybe a 46 with a killer front end. Someone may be flipping in 21. And then everybody's going to be talking about front end, you know? So there's always this hype going on. It was the same thing talking to Sonny here. It was the same thing when people started to perform with high waist suits. Back in the day, everybody loved low waist suits because of Michael. Michael Phelps used to wear those very low waist suits. And after, I think, London 2012, people started to perform with high waist suits. That became the norm. So it's always about the hype, you know, of whoever's swimming fast.
There's definitely bandwagon. And ultimately, there will be a point where you can't get any better at back ending. So then it will have to come back to the front end, you know. At one point, someone will go 46.5, and the only way to then go beyond that is to start flipping in 22.0, 21.9. And I mean, I remember Vlad done it back in 2013, 21.9 to feet in the Barcelona final, and he wasn't ready for it then because, God, that race hurt. But go on.
No, sorry. I was just saying that I was right next to Vlad in that race. I was in between Vlad going 21.9 and Nathan Adrian going 22.2. That was right there in the middle.
Okay, so there you go. So what was your feeling when you see these guys go? What did that do to you?
I was like, man, I must have been going now so slow. I need to pick up.
Right.
Because I was actually seeing his hips right here, you know, next to me.
And I think the perfect scenario would be you going out in 22 low at lane 8 in the final, because no one would even be paying attention to you. So you just do your own thing, win the race, and people in lane 4, lane 5 would think they won the race. And then when they look to the scoreboard, there's a 1 right next to lane 8, you know?
And look, so Marcelo, you've got a back end. I think like when you look at Bruno and myself, you know, we didn't have much of a back end. You know, like we kind of had to hang on, and Bruno was tougher than me. He hung on better than I did, but like it wasn't like we were really pushing that back end too well. But like Marcelo's always had a back end. Marcelo can finish a race. Marcelo can swim over the top of people. You've proven that time and time again. So now if you have this top end, I would say lean into that, because again, you put a body length on Popovich at the 50. I'm not saying he doesn't come back at you. He's going to come back at you, but maybe it's not enough. Maybe you have enough to hang on. And again, who was the 2016 who went out like a freak in 2016?
Santo
Condarelli, right? Like Santo Condarelli was this far from being an immortal, right? That's immortal. You know, like he tried it. But he's never really had the back end that you've had, Marcelo. You've got a better back end than Santo, but now you've got his top end. Just imagine if everybody's thinking, oh, back end's the way to go, back end's the way to go. Marcelo Chierighini comes out and just slaps the world, man. God damn, I'm fired up. Let's go.
In all seriousness as well, though, if your front end increases by, say, 0.3, 0.4, you're flipping in 22.1 with that same ease, your back end is going to be 0.3, 0.4 better as well. And then all of a sudden, 47.8 is becoming 47.1, 47.0, and you're doing it from the front. That's a really dangerous combination. And so I think just keep training the front end, keep back in the front end, and like
why not?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna break through with this theory. I mean, Bruno and I have been talking about this theory for a while, and I probably had the same conversation with you, Marcelo. But now you're in a position to actually execute. You know, like, and again, you know, you finished 5th at the Worlds before. You finished, you finished 5th at the Olympics. Like, it's like, okay, I finished 5th again. That's great. I've been there. But maybe you take that chance that somebody doesn't swim past you. Maybe you just take that chance and something happens. I don't know, man. Maybe we're giving too much away here.
No, I mean, I always think about that as well. You know, I'm feeling, you know, super fast right now, and why not just use that speed? But the thing is, I got to use it it's hard to use it in the right way. When I went out in 22.5, I wasn't thinking of going 22.5. You know, if you want to go out in 22 low, it has to come out of you naturally.
Yeah.
And you know how hard it is to go into 22 low naturally. You know, everything must be perfect. But if I can do that, then I'll be in a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Bruno, what are you thinking, man? I see you thinking there.
I'm thinking, man, because everything makes a lot of sense. I mean, going out fast, I think you have to use your best weapon when you're racing Worlds, when you're racing the Olympics. Going out fast makes all the sense to me. Just go there, as Brett said, put a body length in everybody. I think there's going to be a lot of people panicking.
Yeah. 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 Because everybody's expecting this back end thing now. Like they're all talking about the back end now. Like the back end's the way to go. And and I don't disagree that Popovich has proven that you know, he can swim past anybody, you know, but like maybe he doesn't with Marcelo, you know, like maybe Marcelo's the guy that he can't get past. You know, maybe there's too much speed there. Maybe there's too much strength. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like it's all coming together at the right time. You know, you got the experience, you got the knowledge. You know, now it's just a matter of letting it out and letting it go at the right time. You know, like that's all about timing too, is like making sure that you get it at the right time. But I'm just of the opinion of why not.
We need to start allowing batting in swimming. That's what I feel like right now.
Yeah.
I want to put money on this thing.
Yeah, it sounds like we are. So like what's the plan then between now and Worlds? What are you going to do?
I'm actually not sure yet. The whole plan right now. I'm taking 2 days break, spend time with my family. I'm gonna get back on Wednesday to practice. I think I'm almost 100% sure we're gonna go to Rome to compete in Stachicoli. And then actually we don't have much time. I think we have 6 weeks till Worlds. And then I think we're gonna race in Stachicoli, and then we might go to a training camp in Gloria in Turkey. From there, we go straight to Japan. But I'm not sure if that's the plan. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
What? I'm sorry.
Go, Bruno. Talk.
No, I was going to say the only thing I can tell you is that keep racing. No matter what happens, keep racing. I mean, have something out loud, a couple 25s, a whole 50, a 35, whatever, every third day at least. You know, don't allow it yourself because of this 6 weeks. The 6 weeks time span, it's really tricky because you cannot climb up in intensity because you're not going to have enough time to build anything or to taper from anything. So you have to keep up the good momentum, you know, going.
Yes.
And you're going to rest as it goes and all the environment changing and you're getting to Japan and going to Gloria and race in Italy. That only can do you good. So, just keep racing, man. Every third day, every fourth day, just have something like a race simulation that's going to do wonders for you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I actually, this whole semester training, having the training for the 50 free, I felt that if you don't do much speed, you lose the feeling for the water. You almost forget how to do a perfect breakout. Almost forget how you do your tempo ride. It's crazy. And you're right. You need to keep doing a lot. And I was actually thinking, why don't we, after a good meet, you know, why don't we just almost keep going, you know, keep racing? Why do we have to, you know, go back and do a bunch of a lot more work? And then you almost forget about that great feeling that you had during the race. And then you need to refine yourself. Okay, how was I feeling during my last race? So why don't we just keep doing the good work and improving the fine feeling, right?
So yeah, you just debunked everything me, Michelle, and Brad did for the past 7 years or so. That's exactly what we did. I mean, Brad can tell us that we used to go all out racing, even with a suit, from race 1 on every single season we did. Usually our Saturdays, they're not about some type of sets. they used to be all about just racing from the blocks. You do 3, 4, 5, 6 50s in one Saturday morning, every, I don't know, 15 minutes. And I bet you're going to get a lot of feeling for the water, a lot of speed.
Yeah. Well, it's not a mistake that Bruno is by far the most consistent sprinter in history, you know, with 100 swims under 22. That didn't happen by chance. That wasn't a fluke. That wasn't a mistake. That was well planned, well executed racing, right? And exactly what you're talking about, Marcelo, is every opportunity is an opportunity to go fast, whether it be in an outdoor meet in Fort Lauderdale, whether it be at an indoor meet at the World Championships, wherever you are, you step up on the block, it's a chance to go fast. And that's what we always did. It was like we wanted to have that feeling that when we're at the World Championships or the Olympics, but in this case, for you, Marcelo, it's the World Championships, we wanted it to be another day. Like it's just another day of swimming fast. You know, it's not like, oh, I haven't swum fast in 6 weeks. I swim fast every day, and every day I get up, I go through my routine, I get myself ready to be as fast as I possibly can, and then I become consistent because of that, right? And that's exactly what you're talking about, Marcelo, is just continuing to hold on to that feeling, continuing to race, and just going from where you are now, and not going backwards in your training, but going forwards with your continuation of consistency in speed, you know?
And also not doing just in practice, doing like Bruno said, trying to do a lot of meets, Mare Nostrum, Sericoli. Well, we don't have Mare Nostrum now, but there's one meet, there's Sericoli. It's an opportunity to repeat what you're doing in practice with good guys racing next to you, right?
Yeah, and that's a pet peeve of mine, I have to confess. Every time you get to a meet season like a Pro Swim Series or any other smaller meet during the mid season, every time you go to a call room, there's someone complaining about how heavy they are and how tired they are, and they're gonna swim bad because they've been training too much. And I think that's exactly what you should not be doing when you approach a swim meet, right? It's like putting yourself down and finding excuses not to perform. Yeah. So usually something I tell to younger swimmers is that every time you think you want to complain, think about something positive to say instead, because you have to approach swim meets as if you were always tapered. Sometimes I like to use this hashtag on my posts. It's always tapered. It's exactly because every time I go to a swim meet, it doesn't mean I'm shaved. It doesn't mean I'm wearing a race suit, which I do always wear one. But no matter how tired I am, I'm always approaching the swim meet with that tapered mentality. You know, I want to swim a PB every single weekend. And of course I won't, but that's what I'm trying for.
Yeah.
I think so much of that comes from coaches, though. That mentality, I think, is just so toxic that you're describing. And coaches always go into meets, especially early season. They're like, it's okay if you're slow, or you're probably going to be slow. And if your coach is telling you, hey, Bruno, you're going to be slow this weekend because you've done 30K in the pool, well, what expectations are you going to have? And then you tell your friends that, and you tell your competitors that, and that's more weakness. And I think it's a coach's job to set up the mentality to always believe that there's a possibility of a PB, and then you to execute that belief, right? And I agree completely, and I think coaches do a bad job in actually installing confidence.
Yeah, there's a lot of lack of leadership. That's for sure. I don't know if Marcelo's going to remember this one, but that just crossed my mind. There was one day we were complaining so much, the pro group training in Auburn, that Brett literally walked away from that. And when we finished the set, we started looking at him, and he was nowhere to be found. So when we came back the next day, he was like, "Okay, so you guys ready to work now, or are you just going to be complaining my pool?" You know?
Yeah, I remember a few stories of Brett getting so angry at us.
Yeah, because that's it, man. If you're ready to work, you work. If you don't really want to work, you're gonna start finding excuses and complaining, and you're just gonna be wasting everybody's time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Marcelo, tell us this. I know you're taking time out from your family, and I appreciate it. I don't want to take it forever, but like, there was some controversy down in Brazil. I mean, did you slap one of your competitors on the dais? Was that you? What happened?
No, I didn't slap anybody. But besides that, that was the main controversy first. And then
A couple of girls got
thing-
into a fight. If you don't know, a couple of girls got into a fight, right?
yeah,
Okay.
they I don't know
boy.
what happened exactly, but they got in a little mess. I don't know.
A little bit of fun.
A little bit of fun. But the thing what happened in the mid was it was extremely hot. It was super hot, and the water was some days 30 degrees. 30 degrees. And
30,
I mean, you can say, okay, there's people that swim in cold water, there's people that swim in hot water, but there's people passing out. Not one, not two, a few people passing out.
Wow.
The doctors were saying this is actually dangerous. This is not healthy. You know, it wasn't just us saying. It was the doctors were saying this. You know,
Wow.
and we are just and on top of that, the electronic pads were
The scoreboard was not working, right?
the scoreboard stopped working. When I finished my 100, there was no times on the scoreboard. We needed to ask the people, and then we started to thinking, okay, wait a second, you guys wanted to give us one shot, one trial like the US do it, and then you don't give us the least amount of
infrastructure to perform, right?
Exactly. You guys need to give us something that the pool needs to be perfect. You know, the scoreboard needs to be working, and then maybe we can discuss about having one single trial. And then people are getting sick. You know, there was so much people getting sick. You know, with all the heat and the water, and it was just a mess. You know, and you were hearing from somebody that, you know, I swam fast. You know,
yeah.
And then if I didn't make the team, you could say, oh, Marcelo, you're complaining because you didn't make the team. But I made the team, and I saw that people were passing out, Brad. That's not normal. I never saw that, you know. So that was just a big mess. All the swimmers were not happy. The coaches were not happy, and we're trying to fight for to Brazil to make trials for Olympics and World Championships, at least 2 trials, at least give us the conditions of having a proper trial with a closed pool, with a decent temperature of the water. Everything must be decent, you know?
Right.
Yeah, one thing I tell you about Brazilian swim is that the way we organize swim meets, and even the logistics part of the trips, the team trips, they feel really amateur at most times. When you grow up swimming in Brazil, you end up being a little tougher than the average swimmer because you learn how to endure the elements. You know, it's a large, vast majority of our swim meets, they happen under extreme conditions like extreme heat, humidity, and thunderstorms. I had races under thunderstorms and heavy rain and wind and all that. But at the moment when the swim federation puts really hard criteria to make the team, like 12 spots, and then a single trial where it's like 100 and some degrees and people are passing out and the water, it's well over 80, you know, and then they have to rush to change the criteria on the last day of the meet because people are not qualifying. Most of the usual team is swimming like crap. I mean, that makes us look bad, man. We know, and being part of the Brazilian team for so long, you know, there's always a side eye on our team, right? You know, there's usually like we end up being reason for chit chat and for rumors and even small little jokes aside, and we don't even help ourselves in the domestic ground. So that, man, that makes me pissed. That pissed the hell out of me.
And the thing, one important thing here to say is that if you look at FINA gives you, let's say the if you go to World Championships, the water will never be below 24, and the water will never be above 28 degrees, right? And all the meets in every country must follow those rules, you know. And we weren't complaining just because the water was hot. It was extremely hot, you know, and it wasn't the water temperature was above the limit permitted by FINA,
Right.
you know. So it's
Where was the meet at, Marcelo?
In the northeast of Brazil.
Ah,
one of the hottest cities in the country.
Unusual. They took it away from Mary Lank.
Yeah, that was a financial decision. The Swim Federation was trying to spend the least money as possible doing a meet. They were trying to save money, and they end up having the meet there. But the thing is, I think we would not be frustrated if there was some isolated issue, right? Since every few years we had a meet like that, but every single year we have some type of similar problems in our trials. No matter if it's in Rio, in São Paulo, at Maria Lenk, up north Brazil, but every single swim meet, we have a major problem. You remember 2016 trials where the power just went out and we were complete dark for like an hour before the 53 final, and we were just laying down the car room at dark with our legs up.
Yeah.
So that happens every single time, every year. Sometimes when we have 2 trials in a year, that happens twice a year. So at some point, you got to start asking yourself, if everybody's asking me to be a professional, why don't you treat me like a professional? You know, you just keep giving me this amateur infrastructure, this kind of conditions here, and you ask me to be faster, you're asking me to be competitive and a professional and deal with everything with a certain level of seriousness, you know, and I don't get the conditions to perform accordingly. So that's starting to get really tiring.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not that we don't have a good indoors pool to do our trials. You know,
right.
We used to have. I don't know if you remember, but in for the 2016 Olympics, we had 2 trials. The first one was in the south of Brazil. And it was indoor pool. You know, it's a good pool. It's a good venue.
It's an amazing pool, man.
Exactly. It's an amazing pool. So why not to do there? You know, and why not to do 2 trials again? Why not to prelims and finals? You can make the cut in prelims and finals. It's not that. I think the mentality is to the reason. One of the reasons they wanted to do a single trial is that they think that, okay, if you go through the process of qualifying through only one chance, you're going to be more prepared to go and face Olympics, you know. But come on, man, it's not that you are going through a American trial. Okay, if you get first or second in American trial, your chances of medaling it's high. But come on, man, you cannot compare Brazil to USA. Right?
Yeah. Well, if you do, don't give me 30-degree water to do it in. You know, like, hey, we want you to go 21.6 to hit the 8 cup, but we're going to give you 30-degree water to do it in. Like, come on, give me a chance. God, Jesus.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
and that's the 50. I mean, imagine swimming a 1500 in that. Like, those guys have no chance to get anywhere near the qualifier.
Oh, I was talking to Guilherme Costa when he swam. I think it was the mile. The water was not only super hot, but mid race starts pouring. So he jumps in 80 something degrees water, and by 500 meters it starts pouring like a tropical depression on his head. Can you imagine that?
God,
probably good with that heat. Probably helped him.
Yeah, right.
It'll refresh.
Yeah. Marcel, who's the head coach of Brazil now?
Felipe Domingues.
Oh, okay.
He used to coach Nick Santos.
Yeah, one of your first coaches, right?
Yeah, he was my first coach, exactly.
Okay,
yep.
Well, he's got some stuff to handle. But how many did they announce on the team?
Well, originally they were supposed to announce 12 spots, I believe. I think Bruno can help me here. 12 spots, I believe, and then because of everybody started to complaining about the heat and everything, they decided they decided to bring every single relay. So the spots, I think, double the spots. I think went to 24 or 26 spots. So they take in every relay, the female and male, and the team is huge now.
Yeah, that's true. You went 47.8 in 30-degree water, so that would make you 46.8 in like normal temperature. That's an adjusted time there. Look at that. Yeah, I like that.
From the swim nerd himself.
listen, Marcelo, we're going to let you go. We appreciate your time, man, and thank you. Good luck at the Worlds. But listen, I'll tell you this: you're the face of Brazilian swimming now. Bruno's out for a little while. He's on the sidelines. You're the face now, man, and it's a pretty face too. It's a good looking face. So, use it well. Be the voice. I appreciate you coming on here and at least expressing your opinion, because most people wouldn't do that. So, but you're a dad now. You're a man. You're experienced. You got everything you got going for you. Be the face of Brazilian swimming, and get yourself on that podium and swim that race like we want you to, man. All right.
All right, Brad. I really appreciated the talk, man. It was good seeing you again. Sonny, it was nice to meet you, man. Yep. Bruno, very good to see you as well, man. And I hope you recover fast and come to swim with us again, man.
See you around, bro.
Kiss to the boy. Kiss to the family, the whole family. All right.
Oh, okay. Thank you, guys.
See you, man.
All the best.
All right.
Hey,
now,
real quick, someone is asking: is there an actual temperature-adjusted converter, or are you just guessing? Man, you cannot. People don't believe everything you see on the internet. Have some critical thinking, for Christ's sakes.
The inside joke was because last week we saw the swim stats done like tech suit adjusted times, and we were just saying they're BS. They're a load of crap, right? So we're kind of just mocking them. You either swim something or you don't. Someone done something in a suit, they done it. You do it in a jammer, you do it. You do it in 30 degrees water, you do it.
I don't know. Maybe we do adjust the time on this one. 30 degrees seems a little warm, right? Sonny, there was some other swimming around the world. I know that Swim Nerd puts out his little what's it called? Swim Spam.
Swim Spam. Yeah.
That goes out to the world. So sign up for swimspam.com. But there it is. Sonny, do you want to take us through some other stuff that was going on this weekend?
Yeah.
Give us some highlights.
I mean, I think the biggest one, people have talked about it a lot, but it was Regan Smith, the ex-world record holder in the 100 and 200 backstroke, going an American record in the 200 butterfly. And that was a very special American record. That was, I think, from 1989, if I'm not mistaken, Mary T. Meager, 2039. And she went 2038. 2038 for 200 butterfly at the home meet, ASU meet. More like a little time trial thing. And Regan Smith, just one of these, again, unstoppable girls who can just do it all. She went 208 for the 2 IM, 203 for the 2 fly, 57 for the 100 back. It's madness to think about the versatility that some of these swimmers have, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was a Mary T record. I think it
was from 09, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think that record had been taken. But 203 is rapid. That's moving, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just, wow, I'm an idiot. Yeah, it was Ariana Cookors was 2 IM, wasn't it? Or was it Ariana Cookors?
No, Cookers was the 2 IM. She went 206 and 209. I remember that.
So who
had the 209? Who had the record from 2009? Someone in the comments, JB, help us out here, mate. Who had the record?
Yeah, who
but it's very fast. What's the world record? It's like 201, isn't it? The world record.
201 Lou Zieg.
Yeah, quick.
Was it Mary DeCenza? Yeah, there you go. I knew it was, and I just didn't back myself to say it. That's why I got confused, because it was another Mary. But that was good. We also had the Popovic back racing in Romania. He swam a 47.8. As well as a 52-400 butterfly. 47.8, I mean, we just talked about a 47.8. 47.8 is always very quick, never to be undermined. And 47.8 lands you on or just outside most podiums ever. People can talk about 46s and 47 lows, but the amount of them that actually happen in a world final is much less than what happened in, Sydney Open meets or Romanian Open meets. And 47.8 is a very serious swim. So that was another good one.
There's some good swimming out there this weekend. Let's have a look at this.
There was Ippei Watanabe, the Japanese breaststroker. He went 207.5 for 200 breaststroke. We can't scroll on this because this is just
we can't scroll.
This is just Nate's screen, and Nate's not with us anymore. I can bring it up though.
Nate took off on us. A lot of fast swimming. Hey, Bruno, you're obviously good friends with Kyle Chalmers. Have you got any inside word into how he's feeling. I know that he swam 47 kind of unshaved, unrested a couple of weeks ago, like, and he's about to swim the Aussie trials. Are we going to see the best of Kyle Chalmers, you think?
I think so, man. Kyle's one of the most exciting swimmers to watch. He's more of a backhand swimmer too, right? But he's so aggressive. And I said here before that he has all the potential it takes to swim a beautiful 50, a great 50. And we're all in this event, we're all lucky he never really tried seriously. So I like to watch him. He's a very exciting swimmer. And I think his last results show that we're yet to see his peak shape.
Yeah. Yeah, you think Kyle Chalmers could be the first man to go 21.4, breathing every other stroke?
Dude, I saw him swimming 20 points. I think the specific race was 20.6, where he took a breath in every single stroke, and that blew my mind. I watched that live at ISL. God, I mean, late ISL, we all miss him. And he swam a 20.6, breathing every single stroke, and that was crazy. I never even thought it was possible.
Yeah, no, he could be the first guy 21. Oh, he's not swimming the 50 at trials. Come on, Kyle, get yourself in the 50, mate. Have some breathing pattern. Get it out there. It's a 50.
I mean, talking earlier about like how fast Marcelo goes out the 100 freestyle in compared to his actually 50 step time, and I think there's so much there. I was having similar conversations with Dylan Carter. He's really good to 50 on the 100 freestyle, but still working out that pure 50 when he doesn't breathe. And I just think it's the rushing element that people struggle with. You know, they don't hold the line on the dive. They just try and fly kick too quick.
I
think it's
a matter of concept. People often mistake the 50 freestyle for a sprint, for a speed event. It is not by any means a sprint event. The 50 freestyle, it's not a sprint. It's an endurance race. And I'm pretty much giving out how you swim a 50 just by telling you that. The 50 freestyle is an endurance race. Now, what kind of endurance? Is that aerobic endurance? Clearly not. It's basically a lactate endurance, a power endurance race, which doesn't mean it's a speed race, right? It's not a sprint. So when people try to sprint a 50, that's when they mess up the race. You often start patiently and you go from there. You don't just start slapping the shit out of the water from the start. Right.
There's a lot of learning there that I think, Bruno, I want to partner up with you, and I want to maybe make some content around that we can monetize in the future, because I think there's a whole series of learning there that you and I have gone through that we could monetize. I don't want to give all that away for free. What you just said doesn't make a lot of sense to people, so we have to make sense of what you just said there, right? Like, we have to really dig into that and make content around it. I think I want to do that in the future with you, because you're the guy who knows it better than anybody else in the world. I mean, you're the most consistent sprinter in history. I've coached many athletes like you to swim really fast. So I think the combination of the two of us making content around this idea and trying to figure it out, right? Like, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What does he mean when he says that? Like, it's not a sprint. Like, what does it actually look like? That's where we're going to get to with some of this stuff.
Absolutely. I think so too. I think we should involve in a little more coaching, sharing knowledge in terms of, I mean, the 50 is the coolest race, right? Everybody wants to be a sprinter.
Yeah.
We just got people who are lucky enough to be sprinters and people who wish they were actual sprinters and they have swimming distance or or whatever. So I think that swimming a very good 50 freestyle, which has nothing to do with 100 freestyle, these are two completely different worlds. Yeah. But swimming a really good 50 freestyle, it's much easier than people think. It's just an approach. You just have to approach that race differently. You know, people are just trying to reproduce whatever they do in the 100, in the 200, or even in the 50 fly, which is really different from a 50 freestyle in the 50 free. You know, and that's not it.
Well, you know why it's easy for you and I? Because we spent the last 15 years studying it, like to every single detail, right? Like down to the physiology, the psychology, the biomechanics, like
Yeah,
well, we studied it.
and I told you that before. You know that when I was an age grouper, when I was like 11, 12, I was watching your races and Gary Hall and Stefan Eastron and Dewey Dragana. People that younger swimmers nowadays have no idea who they are. And unfortunately, right, because all goats of swimming, and I was actually studying from the biomechanics to their facial expression to their body language approaching the block, and the 50 has a lot of it too. I mean, you're just not dancing behind the block. That works really well for the women's distance races, but when you're a guy approaching a 50 freestyle, you're not just doing whatever. There's a certain attitude you have to carry. There's a certain mindset that translate in good swimming.
Yeah, well, we're going to do that. We're going to monetize that. Sonny, I know you're monetizing workouts right now and having success with that. Where do people find your workouts again?
Just on my website, www.theswimsuitguy.co.uk.
Hey, this is what you have to monetize, man, here.
And my T-shirt that Bruno's repping there.
Oh, look at that shirt, dude. How did you get that shirt, Bruno? You just ordered that online?
I ordered that online, man. I clicked on the link that Son is always posting. There you go. Here's the link.
Click the link.
And you just put the credit card number over there, and he sends you a shirt. It's magic.
And they're nearly out. I'm on my last stock. Bruno's got extra large. No more extra larges. No more smalls. I've got a few medium and larges left. So
no. Don't say that. Don't say that. You're going to make new ones and you're going to sell them, right?
I'm going to make new shirts, but not this design. This design, once it's gone, it's gone. We've got new designs coming out.
Oh, I need to sign it then. I need a sign. I'll sell it on Hype Beast in the future.
How much are the shirts?
They're 20 British pounds, which is what, like $25 US. So
listen to me. We've got 61 people in the comments here. There's probably going to be 1,000 people watch this over the course of the next week or so. Everybody go out and get a shirt. What's $20 where Sonny's bringing you content, day after day, week after week? Give him $20. Help this kid out, mate. Let's and you get a brilliant, beautiful shirt out of it, by the way. It's not like you're giving nothing, but like go get yourself a shirt and help support Sonny here, who's putting content out for the greater good of world swimming. I really appreciate it. I know everyone else does too. So let's do that. Now, what else? What else is there? What else was I going to say?
Caleb Dressel swam this weekend.
Caleb Dressel still swimming?
He swam this weekend, 100-meter freestyle. It was
heated. He swam 49 something, right?
49.8. He went out in 24, come back in 25.5. He got beaten by his teammate McDuff, who went 49.2.
Oh, he got beat by his teammate.
Another Florida boy.
Oh wow. Is Caleb Dressel going to show up at the World Trials for the US? Is he going to swim World Trials?
I don't know.
Good luck. Good luck turning your back to Caleb Dressel. That's literally F around and find out. Turn your back to Caleb Dressel. That's gonna turn just great to you.
Yeah, he can swim. We all know that. Yeah. We all know he can swim. All right. Well, we got the Australian trials coming up in the next couple of weeks. We've got the US trials a week after that. So we've got a lot of fast swimming coming up. A lot of good swimming, a lot of fun. I love doing this. I love getting together here. We're at an hour, so that's good. A lot of people in the comments section. Thanks for all the comments. I will say this. I'll whisper. I'll put a little whisper out for everybody who's still with us. We may have David Popovich coming on the show this week. Okay, maybe a little Popovich coming on the show later this week. We'll see. But everybody in the comments, thanks for being here. Might give you some more quality content. Sonny, keep it up, mate. Bruno, love you.
See you boys later.
Catch you, guys.
See you, boys.